So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning. If it's a morning, wherever you are, welcome to my today's live, where I'm going to be talking about migrating to overseas in 2024. A lot has been going on, guys, so I don't even know where to start. But the thing is, if you look at migration or migrating to UK, first of all, it was people like companies or recruiters or people like that who were making people pay thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds for the certificate of sponsorship so that they relocate to UK, so that they get a certificate of sponsorship and relocate to UK. That's one, right? Now, if you can hear me, guys, I can see some of you are already starting to come in. If you can hear me, say good morning to me or good afternoon to me. If you can hear me, do comment down below so that I know that you can hear me. Okay, so the issue is there is a lot which is going on in terms of migration content, which is making it very difficult for some of us to continue to make videos relating to migration. Why? Because it causes a lot of conflict, especially amongst us YouTubers. I've been having people come into my DM why I'm making this video. One of us, it's not just one person, several people have actually come to my inbox and they've actually said, and this, it's just that I don't watch all videos. And they didn't even mention the name of the content creator. But of course, there are some content creators that I've watched who actually demand or ask for an arm and a leg from individuals. Or if they're not going to be asking for an arm and a leg, they will come and present an opportunity to you and say, for instance, maybe the NHS is hiring and not give you the full details of the NHS which is hiring, and not give you the link so that you can apply, but then they tell you that if you want to be one of the first people to get this job, you have to join my private group, let's say my private group, where I'm going to show you where to apply. And for you to join my private group, I need you to pay me £250, and then you can access the information. You understand, guys? So now it becomes very difficult because if I'm the one to come here and say now I'm not posting videos, because it's like I'm now conflicting with everyone. People are benefiting from you. People are taking advantage of the fact that people are desperate. Most of us are overseas and they want to relocate here to UK. And because they want to relocate here to UK, whatever people say, even if they say, oh, pay £300, even if they fully know that you're not going to get a job here in UK, people are making people pay money. So I don't know whether it becomes very difficult to do migration content. One individual said to me a few days ago, and yeah, I know you're here she's here on live. She said a few days ago, one of the content creators asked her to pay £250 so that they can apply for a job for her within the NHS, right? £250. £250 is a lot of money, guys, so that they can apply for a job for you. Just to apply doesn't guarantee you that you're going to get a job in the NHS. Just to put in applications for you within the NHS. And my response was, okay, if you are going to ask someone to put in the applications for you and pay them £250, money here in UK is difficult to get. So I don't know how people from overseas are affording such ridiculous sums of money just to put in the application. So I asked, okay, does putting in the application guarantee that you're going to get a job? No, it does not guarantee that you are going to get a job within the NHS. So why would you want to pay thousands and thousands of pounds to an individual so that they just apply for you to get a job? Not just to put in an application, which if you commit yourself, take your time, out of your busy schedule, if you've got a busy schedule, just tell yourself that I want to get a job within the NHS. I'm going to apply, um, put in my application, take 30 minutes out of my time so that I just put in an application. You copy your application, you paste it elsewhere, such that when you're applying next time, it's just a matter of you copying and pasting, copying and pasting. So, because when it comes to migration content, everyone now wants a bit of your money. Everyone wants a bit of your money. Come for my whatever program, £300. Let me apply for you so that you go to the NHS, £400. Let me, when I now come, because most of the time I made it a point from the very beginning from the very first time that I started coming here on YouTube, I made it a point that I want to keep things real. I want to tell you the reality on the ground. It's not about me eating your money. I work, I go to work, I get paid. I do understand that people say, okay, to me, YouTube is not a business. For others, it's a business. But the painful bit is, even if now people fully know that they are, for example, bed coordinator job, I'm just giving you an example. For example, a bed coordinator job, for example, a cleaning job or something like that within the NHS. I fully know, when I'm here, I fully know that if you are from overseas, you cannot secure such a job from overseas. And I fully know that you cannot secure non-clinical jobs from overseas. And me fully knowing that you can't secure those jobs from overseas, I still come to you and tell you that you can secure a non-clinical job within the NHS. Pay me £250 and I'm going to apply for you, or I'm not going to share the links. Join my private whatever group where I'm going to coach you how to apply and pay me £300 so that you apply and you get a job. Fully knowing that you're not going to get a job, guys, because you have to ask yourself some of these things. You just have to ask yourself, have you seen anyone coming from overseas that you can testify and say, here is this one person, they are now a bed coordinator within the NHS? And do you understand? Do you know anyone who's a bed coordinator who came from overseas and is a bed coordinator? Because it's easy for someone to say, oh, I helped someone, now they're working as a bed coordinator. Most of the time, we take some of the testimonies from people to say and paste them from their emails and everything, from their congratulations and so forth, and just to show that, okay, here is evidence that this individual is now actually working in the NHS as a care assistant or as a maternity support worker or whatever. But I don't know what you think, guys. Let me greet you. Good afternoon, Togo. Good afternoon, Safricot. That's my father. Good afternoon, Ryan, Angel Tatenda, Tariro, Tando Spanda, Angel Getty, Warren, and Lillian. Good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. So that is the main reason why I'm finding it very difficult to come and post content on migration, because now I'm taking a step back because it's very difficult for me to be. It's now I'm conflicting. It's like now we are conflicting, and it's like YouTube is now a battlefield. Someone will come and say, okay, NHS is hiring what you call this, apprenticeship programs. NHS is hiring, there's apprenticeship programs you can apply, there's a nursing program you can apply, there's a what program you can apply. Then I come and say to you, no, guys, you cannot apply for that program. There's no apprenticeship, there is no bed coordinator, there is no, it's a lot of conflict. And you know that as we come here on YouTube, the person who watches me, as long as I'm doing migration content, it's not like if you are watching me, you're watching only me. You understand? You watch all other YouTubers with migration content. So now the content that we come and provide is now conflicting. This one is conflicting. Rather, let me say I'm conflicting with everyone. You understand? And at the end of the day, people look at you and say, because I remember one comment and said, oh, are you jealous that people are making money out of YouTube? No, I am not jealous that people are robbing you of your hard-earned cash. I'm a person of integrity. You understand? Because personally, I cannot come to you and say, give me £300 to apply for a job for you within the NHS when it's just a mere application. You understand? And personally, I also fear God. You understand? I fear God. I cannot come and say something which is fake and say, "Oh, I'm going to coach you. Come, 30 of you, I'm going to coach you so that you apply for bed coordinator job. Just give me £300 and I'll show you how to apply for a bed coordinator job." When I fully know that you cannot get that job from overseas, it's because if you are the one who is overseas there, you do not know the reality on the ground. You understand? So I don't know whether the content creators are the ones to blame, or you as individuals are also to blame because you are not doing your research. Do you understand? You are not doing your research because every content that is shared here on YouTube, if you go on Google, if you go on the government website, if you go on the NHS website, you can actually get the information from there. A lot of people were coming back to me. I said, but I told you so. Apprenticeship jobs, they're now showing me regret emails. I'm sorry, we're not taking people from overseas. Sorry, we're not doing this from overseas. Sorry, you're overseas, we cannot take you. But why did you not do your research first before going and putting in your application? Because you, as individuals, there, you come and cry and say, because a lot of people come and cry. The unfortunate thing is that if someone grabs content from that content creator, they'll come and ask me. Someone hears something from another content creator, they'll come and ask me, because I have that platform where I allow people to come and ask me questions. I have an email where I tell people, reach me out on my email, and I come and what I can share. So when now people are now coming to complain about, this content creator has done this to me, this content creator has said this about Canada, I was in a Canada, the other one was complaining yesterday, said was in a Canada, I don't know, whatever group for Canada, where an employer is supposed to get you jobs and so forth. I paid this much, but I never got to get a job or anything of that sort. Oh, Canada masterclass or something like that. Someone was complaining yesterday. I was in a Canada masterclass. I didn't get. But why are you not doing your own research? You understand, guys? Why are you not doing your own research? Because people only come back to cry and say, "Oh, I lost this much amount of money. Or I paid £250 and I've not been called for even a single interview. I've paid £300, I've not even been paid for a single interview." Why are you doing it and not doing your own research? Karen Katsura says, I think Sis Popo, please continue providing us with COS opportunities. Yes, you see, COS opportunities are there, but I will ask you as individuals to go and do your own research. And do me a favor, um, if you have lost your hard-earned cash to another content creator, if you've paid your £300, you've paid your £400, you've paid your £800 to another content creator, please don't share it with me, because it causes a conflict. A conflict amongst us as content creators. Because me, I start wondering to say, okay, don't people have a conscience? Don't you have a conscience if you are to come and sit in front of people and lie through your teeth and tell people that I'm going to get you a job in the NHS, just give me £300. I'm going to show you how you can apply for the job, and I'm going to have whatever. As you know that at the end of the day, not even a single individual is going to get a job within the NHS. Don't you have a conscience as an individual? Because as individuals are supposed to have a conscience. And what we also have to put into consideration is, because myself, when I am sharing information, I know the kind of people that I'm sharing the information to. I know that there are people who are watching from Zimbabwe. I know that there are people watching from South Africa, Nigeria, Botswana, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, just to mention a few countries. And you know what? A lot of people are struggling financially. Understand? A lot of people are struggling financially. It's very difficult to get $1, $1 If you are in Zimbabwe, you know that getting $1 for bread is very, very difficult. So if you know people are suffering, they're failing to get $1, and you are robbing them of 250, 300 pounds and promising them that you're going to get them a job in the NHS and nothing comes into fruition. Don't you have a conscience? That's what I can only ask. Don't you have a conscience? And then there are people, someone sent me a message and said, how do I report this person? They've scammed me of 4,200 pounds. 4,200 pounds. I've been saving this money for the past 8 months and I've given them this amount of money and they've robbed me of 4,000 plus pounds. How do you get robbed of 4,000 plus pounds when we come here every day and talk to you and tell you that be mindful? Stop being desperate. Stop being desperate, guys. If you want to come to UK, there is no magic pill. You understand? There is no magic pill. There is no one who's going to talk to the NHS bosses on your behalf. There is no one who's going to create a marvelous whatever to the bosses in the NHS. Apply for yourself. You understand? Apply for yourself because it's a matter of filling in your details there, right? And then when you fill in your details, if you make the cut, they are going to hire you. Doesn't mean that if you pay £300 a person, you are going to have any special preference within the NHS because they don't know that you have paid someone £300. You still pay that £300, like people who paid for apprenticeship programs paid the £300 to apply for apprenticeship programs, and then at the end of the day, it was regret. And you can't go back to the person and say, oh, I've gotten a regret, because they'll tell you that, oh, I've provided my services. My service was to apply for you. And then after I've been regretted, you come to me and say, Popo, this is what has happened. This person has robbed me of my £300. There isn't much I can do except to feel pity for you. You understand? Please update us about recruiting from Poland. Our children are stuck after qualifying as nurses in Poland. When it comes to Poland, what has happened is most of the people were being recruited straight from Poland by the NHS, and most of the people were being recruited straight from Poland via nursing homes. But now this has all changed because a lot of people are now coming from Poland, and the major disadvantage that people in Poland have is that after qualifying, they don't have experience. And most of the time, they want experience. NHS has completely stopped recruiting people from Poland. Like, they've stopped recruiting from Poland. Even people from overseas, NHS is currently, because this is the reality on the ground, NHS is currently not recruiting from overseas. Nurses, many people are stuck with their applications. Nurses, carers, and so forth, they are stuck. Even if you apply for a job which is offering you visa sponsorship, the likelihood is, because I've seen a lot of requests, are going to tell you that we do not, because you are overseas, the salary threshold, you do not meet it. And let me tell you something, guys. If you see in the NHS saying, okay, you're applying for a job, we can offer you visa sponsorship. Offering you visa sponsorship does not necessarily mean that they are hiring from overseas. Do you understand? If you see a statement which says overseas workers does not necessarily mean that you who is overseas, because here in UK, I am referred to as an overseas worker because I came from overseas. Anyone who's in UK and came from outside UK is referred to as an overseas worker. So if you look at wherever they are hiring, whether it's the NHS, when they're saying visa sponsorship, overseas workers, you understand? It can be visa sponsorship for people who are within the UK. Understand? Because you can come from Nigeria, you can come from Zimbabwe, you can come from South Africa, and when you are here in UK, you are not a British. You cannot say you're a British. You understand? You are called an overseas worker. So if you see where they say visa sponsorship, it doesn't necessarily mean that you who is outside can be hired. It means visa sponsorship, they can offer people, even those who are within the UK, a visa. Several people, not even several, thousands of people have been getting reject because of the new salary threshold, within the NHS. Band 3 and below, it's very difficult to get a job within the NHS because of the new salary threshold. They do take from band 4 minimum because they have not been taking. It's been a long time since I last saw anyone getting a job within the NHS. And trust me, you cannot show me one person who relocated from overseas to come and work as a healthcare assistant, recruited by the NHS straight from overseas to come in. You cannot show me that one person, not even a single person. Understand? Except for few people who managed to get positions maternity support workers, and those were nurses, were midwives. You understand? People who have been able to get jobs as healthcare assistants in the NHS are people who are within the UK and are requiring visa sponsorship. And they take them from within the UK and they put them in the NHS. You know why? Because they don't have to pay ridiculous sums of money to relocate them from overseas to come and work in the NHS here in the United Kingdom. So whenever you see a word written visa sponsorship does not mean all people are outside the UK. Visa sponsorship, you can be sponsored a visa within the UK. So you need to learn to differentiate the two. You understand? Differentiate between the two. So go to Malta and get experience and start from there rather than being stuck in Poland. I came from Poland, so I know what I'm saying. You have heard it. Someone who has come from Poland says, go to Malta and get experience because the UK is high on experience. Guys, I have seen so many posts. People have come to me and said, UK is hiring from overseas. There is no experience needed. There are no qualifications needed. There is no IELTS needed. There's nothing like that. UK is very high on experience. They cannot recruit you from overseas with zero experience. You understand? There's nothing like the United Kingdom can recruit you from overseas and leave their people here. You with zero experience, you have never seen. Yesterday, I was being asked, someone was asking me that, oh, I understand UK is now recruiting, what do you call this? It's now recruiting nursery nurses necessariness, and you don't need to have any qualifications. You only need to be passionate about the job, and then you can be hired from overseas to come and work as a necessariness. Are we for real, guys? You need to have a license, a child care license that you get here within the UK. For you to work as a nursery nurse, you need to have a license and you need to have experience. There's nothing like, oh, you can be a nursery nurse, you don't need to have any experience or anything of that sort. And then I asked the individual, okay, so where are the links for those applications? Because as far as I know, go on the government website, they will tell you the requirements. Go on Google, they'll tell you the requirements. From the schools which are offering necessary assistant jobs or whatever, it's a necessary nurse or necessary assistant. Ask them, they will tell you what it is that they need. You cannot go and work with children without being registered in the government of UK. You cannot go and work with children without having a license, and you cannot go and work with children without having an insurance and all those things. You understand? So people just take half-baked information. They get excited, and I want to come to UK as a necessary nurse, and I'll be the first to apply. There's nothing like that, guys. There is nothing like that. You have to do your research before you get excited about everything that you hear. You understand? Take everything with a pinch of salt. Research, and then after researching, you know whether it is legit or not. Chawanda say, never. They want qualified teachers in the education, period. Here, everything in UK needs you to have experience, even if it's a healthcare assistant job. Initially, when they started hiring, experience, they would check just any form of experience, even if you took care of your mother, took care of, as long as you have the qualifications, because for you to have qualifications, you need to undergo training. Which country has got so much money to take people from overseas and come and train them? Come and work as a nursery assistant and start working for our children here in UK. I'm not referring to my child because I don't have a nursery child. Our children here in UK. and they don't know you. There is no evidence of you ever being a necessary assistant. Then all of a sudden, from the streets, you come and work as a necessary assistant. Does it make sense? Doesn't. Yes, you are here, Sissy. Thank you for helping. Some YouTubers do it for viewers. That is why they tell too much lies. That is the thing. That's why I'm saying now it becomes very difficult now to even come and make videos, because it's now like YouTube is now like a battlefield. You understand? It's not like a battlefield, because most of the time when people get content, whatever content they get, even if there's something posted today that there is this hiring, automatically I'll get people who will come to my inbox. I understand that now necessary nurses are being hired. Can you help me with my CV? I understand they don't need any qualifications. I can just come. They can pick me from the street there to come and work in UK as a necessary assistant. It does not work that way. So that's why I am saying some of us are now on a money making scheme or money making scam. You understand? They want your hard earned cash. They want your hard earned cash, and then they'll tell you that for me to tell you, give you information about more information. They'll dangle an apple in front of you, right? And that apple will look so good. Looks so good that you don't need to have qualifications. It looks so good that you don't need to have any experience. It looks so good that you don't need to have any IELTS. It's so enticing, right? And after you are enticed and you are interested and you now want the links to apply, you are told that no, this one is for the 1% who are serious. And that 1% who are serious, you need to join my group so that I tell you where you can apply and give you more details. If you haven't joined my group, how much is joining your group? £300. You can join my group for £300 so that I share information with you. At the end of the day, if 500 of you pay your 300 times 500, I don't know, 300 times 500 is a lot of money. You have given the individual 300 of you times 500, £300 times 500, right? At the end of the day, not even a single one of you is going to get a necessary job. And then I can come tomorrow and say, oh, someone has got a necessary job. Where is the evidence? Can we see the evidence that someone has got a necessary job? There is no evidence. You understand? So me here, when I come to you, I like keeping it real. I like telling you the truth as it is. You understand? You rather label me and say, oh, you're now jealous that this one is making 300 times 500. I don't give a damn even if you make 10,000 by 5,000. I care about the welfare of people who are out there, because I know how much people are suffering out there. So I was talking to an individual that I asked that, have you ever seen, like a testimonies that, okay, here I am, I came through this program, I am here. Because the individual are saying, I've been saving so much money for so many months, because £1 is hard to come by if you're overseas. I've been saving so many pounds over the past month. Now I have the £3,800. Do you think I should pay the individual? They're asking me, do you think I should pay the individual? No, don't pay the individual, because you're going to lose your money. Someone was crying that I've lost 4,000. Where do I report? I don't even know where you can report. Where do you start when you're overseas? Where do you start reporting when you're overseas? Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? So that's why you're not seeing me on YouTube anymore, because it's causing a lot of conflict amongst us YouTubers. Understand? Because I'll come and say, this is hiring. Then me, I'll come and say, no, guys, there's nothing like that. It's not happening. Understand? Save your money. Do projects or whatever. Save your money. Nothing like that is happening. You understand? Yes. I need more information from Malta. Who can guide me, please? You see, if you need information, like you're saying, I need information on Malta. Do you know where you can get that information? If you go on Google. Google is one of the biggest search engines. It is number one search engine. That is number one search engine in the world, followed by YouTube. If you go on Google, How to become a nurse in Malta. It will give you details, step by step detail on how you can become a nurse in Malta. Google any country, how to become a nurse in the United Kingdom. They will tell you step by step how to become a nurse, how to become a, what are the requirements for. Let me say I come here and tell you that, oh, nursery nurses are needed here in UK, dentist nurses are needed here in UK. I'm saying this because people have been coming to my inbox and crying because they've been applying and being rejected left, right, and center. You go on Google and ask, what are the requirements for me to become a dentist nurse here in UK? There's apprenticeship for dentist, apprenticeship for nursing. You will not get that from overseas, guys. So save your hard-earned cash, because some of us are after your money. What happens to you afterwards? We don't care. That's the reality on the ground. What happens to you afterwards? We don't care. And even if you come, the 500 of you, and I tell you that, oh, 20 of you have gotten jobs without giving you or showing you any evidence of a single person that has gotten a job through the programs that I'm making you pay £300 for. I just come here and say by word of mouth. Oh, some of you have gotten 15 of you have gotten jobs, and you have not even seen a single person. You need to ask yourself as well. You need to ask yourself, how genuine and how legit is this thing before you start forking out your money. Then when you have lost your money, you come and cry and say, I've lost my money. And they'll say, but you willingly gave the individual your money. No one held a gun to your head and said, pay me 300 to join my group. You just listen to the individual who said, pay me 300, I'm going to get you jobs in the NHS, and you get nothing at the end of the day. Because NHS is not keen on hiring from overseas. It's a fact. It's a fact. If there's any one of us here who came from overseas as a healthcare assistant, not even as a healthcare assistant, and joined the NHS, you can comment here. If you as an individual, you know of one person who left from overseas, who left from South Africa, who left from Zimbabwe, who left from Nigeria or Botswana or Ghana or wherever, if you know one individual went from overseas straight to the NHS, comment and say, yes, there's this sister of mine who went straight to the NHS as a healthcare assistant from overseas. Not even a single person can comment and say that has happened. You understand? So you also have to ask yourselves, why is it that we are not seeing people live in direct? Why is it that you don't have relatives of yours who are saying, I went straight to the NHS? Do you understand? Please don't do shortcuts. It's better to take the long route. Money is hard to save. Me, I'm here in the United Kingdom. Understand, guys? And I earn British pounds. British pounds. It's a powerful currency. But I am struggling to save money in the United Kingdom because money is hard to come by. Understand? So imagine you're getting British pounds at the end of the day. It's difficult to save that money. What of someone who is overseas there and is not even getting British pounds, but you're expecting them to pay you £300? You're expecting them to pay you £800. Does money grow on trees? Money does not grow on trees. Money is hard to come by. That's why I use my heart. I don't use the love of money, because the love of money is the root of all evil. You start by taking 300, it's not enough. Next time you want 500, it's not enough. Next time you want 800, it's not enough. Next time you want 1000. Next time you get reported and you get arrested. You understand? You get reported and you get arrested for what? So NHS now hiring internally. That is true. TY, you're telling the truth. NHS is hiring internally. Even if they say they're hiring internally, they don't hire from overseas. I have people who have been invited for interviews within the NHS. And they were told that, unfortunately, due to the new visa rules, we cannot take people from overseas. You understand? There's nothing like they'll take you with no qualifications. So guys, be mindful. You see me not coming on YouTube these days is because of I'm not liking the atmosphere which is on YouTube, and I'm not enjoying the content, the conflict in the content that we are sharing, because we we're not opposing each other. One person lies and says this, then I come and say no, this is a lie. It's not a healthy environment. It's toxic. YouTube has become toxic. That's why you see these days I'm posting my videos on a weight loss journey, blah blah blah, because this is a topic which is not oversaturated, because migration content is oversaturated, and now everyone wants to make a cent. I have to take advantage of this and make a cent out of the people who are overseas. Whether you get a job or you don't get a job, if I've applied for you, that's it. I don't care. Do you get what I'm saying? So now, guys, now that I've talked and talked and talked, if you have any questions related to what is going on here in the UK, any questions related to visa sponsorship, any questions related to anything, can you kindly drop your questions down below here, and I will answer your questions. Drop your questions down below here. And guys, if there is any country that you are interested in, you're interested in Poland, you're interested in Denmark, you're interested in Netherlands, you're interested in Poland. Those are the countries which are currently hiring. You're interested in Switzerland, you're interested in the Republic of Ireland. Information is there on Google. You go and Google, you find the information on Google. You find all the information that you need on Google. Do you understand? Yeah, Poland are not taking nurses because of language barrier. That's why you see that nurses in Poland are stuck after their qualifications. They cannot work in Poland because they cannot speak Polish. That's why they get stuck there. So they would rather go to other countries where you can they can actually speak, I don't know, speak English. Go to countries where they speak English. Are there rumors on caregiver dependent rule will going to change? Okay, when it comes to care dependent visa rule, the new government, say Keir Starmer himself, they clearly stated that they are not intending to change that law. They said they're not intending to change that law. So that law is still in place. Dependents cannot bring, the carers cannot bring their dependents from overseas. However, they said they want the Migration Advisory Committee to look into the shortage occupation list, rather. It's now called the immigration salary list or something like that, so that they understand why there are certain sectors where they are overly dependent on people who are overseas. So they want to break down the shortage occupation list. Why? Because their whole objective is to reduce migration levels to UK, and they're going to reduce them at all costs. So they want, even if you're overseas, if because they said they don't want you to bring in your dependents, that is not going to change, because their main objective is to bring migration levels down. And they've said they have no intentions, they've showed that they have no intentions of changing this. Should there be a change, Migration Advisory Committee is going to look into it and see what impact it has. But they stated it in black and white that they are not going to change that rule anytime soon. Understand? That's why some people, they come here to UK. When they're here in UK, because that's an alternative route that you can take to the UK, whereby you come as a carer, whether you're going to a care home or whatever, to the UK here. And then when you're now in the UK and you have gained UK experience, because NHS is high on experience, and you have gained UK experience, whether it's 3 months or 6 months UK experience, you can now then change the shortage occupation list code and move on to another shortage occupation list code within the NHS, which will enable you to bring in your dependents from overseas. So it's going to be a long process. So, and when you are coming to the NHS, all these jobs that you see being advertised, when it's the clinical, whatever, they all want you to have NVQ2 or NVQ3. If you don't have NVQ2 or NVQ3, there is no job that is going to take you in the NHS with no experience without that specific qualification. So you need your NVQ2 or NVQ3 for you to work as a band 4 in the NHS. All right. What of people already in the UK? In terms of what, Josephine, are you saying, are they able to bring in their dependents or not? If you're in the UK, if you came after the 11th of March 2024 and you are working as a carer, you will not be able to bring in your dependents. If you came in as a carer and you came before March 11th, then you can be able to bring in your dependents from overseas because the new visa rules do not affect you. Understand? Thanks for sharing the explicit truth. Yeah, welcome, C. Dudumba. All right, so now I'll check if you've got questions. Tarot says, Popo, what about care homes? Are they recruiting from overseas even with no dependent? Yes, there are some care homes which are recruiting from overseas as long as you have your qualifications. The truth that I can tell you guys about the United Kingdom is that the spaces that they now have are very limited, very, very limited because of all that has been happening and all that. They are no longer keen on taking people from overseas. However, it does not mean that they are not going to take people from overseas, or it does not mean that they are no longer taking. I know people, last week, a number of people actually got their certificate of sponsorship, but this is an individual who has been waiting for it for 10 months, good 10 months, you know. And then we've got people who are here in the United Kingdom. They are failing to get jobs. Some are left with, I know someone who's left with just a week, failing to get a switch. I'm sure they're telling you, people who are here, that we are failing to get a switch because if imagine if they can't get a switch within the UK, what of you who's overseas? You get the point? I'm sure you have heard many of them telling you that I'm failing to get a switch. Some have even had to pack their bags and go back because they're failing to get a switch. People here in Northern Ireland, I've heard so many people approaching me now. Their employers have had the license revoked. What do I do now? They're failing to get a switch. They've been failing. They've been looking left, right, and center. And I know people who have had to pack their bags after 60 days and go back because they're not able to get a switch. So even if jobs are there here in the UK, they are there. They are scarce. So case goes by favor. You'll be lucky to get a job straight from overseas because what happened is, right, what happened is a lot of people came from overseas without hours. Do you get me? People were willing to pay 4,000, 10,000, whatever thousand pounds to land in the UK, right? They came here, they landed in the UK with no hours. And after landing in the UK with no hours, now they need to, because they paid their employers or whatever, the employers have been caught by the Home Office. Licenses have been revoked. Now, a lot of people are here with no hours and they need to switch. And there are not so many companies who are willing to take them. Understand? Because some wouldn't have worked for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And when you're here in UK, they want experience. So they ask you if you've got experience. And if you say, I've been working 1 day a week, no, they're not going to take you. You understand? And then there is anyway, I'll advertise that separately. Someone who's in Scotland, this individual actually hired a lot of care assistants from overseas. Now has other opportunities where you can go and work with the organization, and she wants me to come and advertise for her because the first time she got people from overseas, I advertised here and she managed to recruit so many people from overseas. She now has some opportunities for people who are in Scotland. I'll do a separate video for that once we finalize everything, guys. You see, we are telling the truth. Some are struggling to get COS switch. True, you get it. We are having people in the United Kingdom struggling to get a switch. Struggling to get a switch. within, you don't have to sponsor them. So you also have to think logically. Think logically. If people here are failing to get a switch, they're failing to get a switch. What about you who's overseas? Do you think they're going to take you who's overseas and leave someone who's here in UK that they can easily process the visa for in 2 weeks and they're here and you have to come all the way from wherever you are, whether in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Nigeria, wherever. It's impossible. So the truth, the reality on the ground, jobs are there, but they're now very, very, very scarce. You have to be looking at other visa routes. Even if you want to come here, let's say you want to come and work as a seasonal worker, you have the privilege to work an additional 20 hours with any other employer, whether they want to work as a carer or whatever. You can come. Seasonal farm worker jobs. This is October. They are now open for December. If you want to come and work in poultry, whether it's poultry, to do with chickens and turkeys and whatever towards December here, they are now open. You can start your applications. Understand? We have the charity worker visa. The charity worker visa, there are many organizations which are currently open and they are hiring people from overseas and they're offering visa sponsorship. And the advantage of a visas like the charity worker visa, you can actually bring in your dependents, depending on which organization you get a job with. And once you bring in your dependent, whether you bring in your wife or your whatever, your wife can go and work as whatever else they want to work as here in the United Kingdom. Understand? So don't only focus on a healthcare assistant jobs. There are other visas that you can actually look at and come to UK, and it would be easier for you to branch because I know an individual who came in as a seasonal worker, but is also working part-time as a carer because you have those 20 hours where you can work as whatever, you understand. And then if you're working part-time as a carer and you're doing well and whatever, you see an organization here you can talk to, because it's easier for you to connect when you're here in UK. You can connect with any organization, and if you go back to your country, just because you've worked for that organization and they know the kind of person you are, how you've been, dealing with the clients and all that, they can then hire you from overseas and offer you visa sponsorship. I heard of an employer who is going to court because uh, his employer went to seek asylum after not getting hours. See, a lot of drama is happening here in UK. It's very sad because when this thing started, it was a wonderful thing. Like people, great. I'll go back to the love of money. The love of money is what has landed us where we are today. Employers getting people making you pay 7,000 and that money going into their pockets because they don't care whether you come and work here, you've made them rich. That's exactly what I was saying, that even if the 500 of you pay one individual and you pay her £300 and you still don't get a job, she doesn't care because you've made her rich. You understand? Even if only one person out of 1,000 of you, only one person gets a job, you have all paid 300 times 1,000. She doesn't care because you've made her rich. You understand? But when the law comes in, because the law is going to come in one way or the other, when the law comes in, there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So this is exactly what is happening to these employers. What they were doing is they were enjoying taking 30 people and making them pay 7,000, right? That's a lot of money, which was not necessary to make you pay. Others from India were paying £15,000. Imagine if you had to take 30 people and make them pay £15,000. They've made you rich, isn't it? So even if they've made you rich, you face the wrath of the law one way or the other, because the truth has got a way of coming out. You understand? So that's what has been happening. Anyway, I've talked too much. Let me seem to listen. Which are colleges that are recognized by NHS that offer NVQ? As long as it's a college which is here within the United Kingdom, because there are so many colleges which offer NVQ2, you can be able to get a job here in the UK. I know there are people out there who also took advantage of the fact that NHS wants NVQ2, and they say we're going to train you NVQ how many months, 2 months, 3 months, and people they went, they flocked. I don't want to name the name of the organization, but it was based in Nigeria. People they flocked to that organization and they paid £600 for the NVQ2, NVQ3, NVQ2. And after doing the program, they're still not able to get the job. But who cares? They don't care because you've given them 600 times 1,000 of you. You've made them rich. You understand? You've made them rich. Even if you're not going to get a job, they'll tell you that we've trained you and we've given you a certificate. Then you go there, they tell you the certificate is not recognized. Then you go there, they tell you that no, certificate is not enough. You need experience. You get it? Someone says LCPS, London College of Professional Studies. Yeah, I was told it's not all approved. Yeah. Someone says try that college, LCPS, London College of Professional Studies. Yeah, check on Google. Yes, Google is there. And when you're checking on Google, you also have to check the reviews. Everything that you do, you need to check the reviews from people. Reviews, most of the time I use reviews because they are the ones which guide you. Because me, I like if I interact with an organization, even if it's a restaurant, even if it's a what, every time after I leave, I go and leave a review. So it's either people give it a 5 star, a 2 star, a 0 star. Read the reviews, then you will know whether it's a good college or not. So guys, this is what I wanted to share with you. I'm very tired. I'm coming from night shift, and these days we are doing the 75 hard challenge. I opened a WhatsApp group for weight loss, for those who are interested in weight loss, shedding a few kilos. As you can see, I always refer to myself. As you can see, we're shedding a few kilos. If you're interested, we've got a WhatsApp support group that we started last week Sunday, and it is a wonderful group. People are helping each other. We've got over 300 members in that group. So if you're interested, just let me know. I'll drop the no, just go to my community page. There's a link to the WhatsApp group. You can actually join the WhatsApp group via the link, and I'll approve of you to join the group. That is if you're serious about your health and you want to lose weight. You can just join that WhatsApp support group. Understand? Otherwise, guys, if you don't have any questions, this is all that I wanted to share with you. And I will tell you my final words. The final words that I need to tell you is that it's important that you do your own research. Even if I come and share information with you today and tell you that there's a charity organization which is hiring from overseas and they don't need any qualifications, blah, 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 go and do your own research before you commit to anything. Go and do your own research. Understand? Before you pay people thousands and thousands of pounds, go and find out whether this is legit or not. People take advantage of your desperation. Don't allow people to take advantage of your desperation. And people complain a lot in my inbox. Yeah, I'm willing to listen. I listen and I talk to people, and they complain each and every day. They complain. I paid this much, and I understand the pain. I understand the pain, especially if you're overseas, because it's difficult to get money. Understand? So I understand the pain when you've paid £300 and nothing comes to fruition. You've paid £1,500, nothing comes to fruition. I do understand the pain. But at the same time, I'm telling you that no one forces you to pay the money. You willingly pay the money. Why? Because you want a shortcut. There are no shortcuts to UK. There are no shortcuts. If you want to come to UK, there are no shortcuts. Most of the people who came without choosing shortcuts, they are exemplar people that I work with in my company. They are living peacefully here in UK. There's nothing like I have to switch, I have to look for hours, or what if my, because they use the proper parts. So if you also want to come to UK, guys, do your research and use proper parts, and take everything that you hear with a pinch of salt. Take with a pinch of salt, and then go and eat. You are given the skeleton, you go and eat the flesh. Don't come and complain afterwards when you've lost your hard-earned cash. All right. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you, JM. Thank you, Angel, Josephine, Tulisi, TY. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me on this live. I'm not sure when I'll post another video, and I will not promise, but I'll make sure that at least once a week I'll come and post a video. I'll not promise and say tomorrow or the day after, but I'll just come and post a video at least once a week. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do share this video if you found it to be beneficial, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.